Good morning. Most shows would start with one of those amazing questions like, give us 15 minutes and we're going to tell you the life-changing way that you can fix the whole world with your amazing product or service. And we're going to give you the magic answer right here, right now. So don't go away. We'll be right back. Not us. No. We don't believe that's really the right issue. The right thing, because we're renegades, is to provoke your thoughts. We want you to think. We want you to engage your mind so that you, not us, can develop the solution to your individual challenge and take some decisive action today. This is the show where you figure out what you're going to do. I'm Bob Graham. That's Tom Brush. And this is today's Antidote.
Well, good morning, everyone. Great job on the intro, Bob.
It gets smoother and smoother. I wish the text message alert didn't go off in the middle. That would have made it a little more professional. But
I didn't even notice it.
Oh, okay, good.
Our dogs will probably bark. The Verizon person is supposed to show up today, so.
Okay, all right. Well, are you going to kick us off at that point because you're okay?
No. Someone else, my wife is there for them, I believe.
And the great irony is that you're apparently dealing with your wiring issues and your all that, and I'm not, and I'm the one who keeps having issues.
Well,
I wish the text message alert didn't go. I hear you in the background. I hear myself in the background talking.
Yeah, it's one of those mornings.
So today we've been talking this week about trapdoors, things that get in our way of progress. And today we're going to talk about the external challenges that we often face. And these can be as simple as someone you respect or like telling you, that'll never work. Or I know, yeah. Speaking of not working. Or it could be something bigger, like the economy is not right. People aren't going to consider this right now because they have too much on their mind. Everyone's focused on pandemic, not on business. They won't invest in me because they've already bought this from someone else, and my idea is just like their idea. I could go on and on and on because I can collect these. In a day, I think I probably collect about 1 million of these. So this is easy for me to talk about. What about you, Tom?
Well, we need to work on that for you. Well, I also think that there are other external obstacles that we can't control. Like some of that is, yes, we can't control what the economy is doing, but there is also we don't have the money to do it. Or our supervisor or boss or board of directors doesn't think we should move in that direction. And I think those are things that in some ways they're, like all of them, you can't control. And you have to figure out all right, what's the workaround? Or maybe also, how do I prepare for that so that I have more information when someone questions what I'm going to do externally, that this is going to say why. One of the things I talk about with the nonprofit groups all the time is, or actually with anyone, is when you're going to present your goals to your supervisor, to your boss, to your board of directors, to your partner, if you have data behind it, that helps some of the negative thoughts or the obstacles that other people are going to put in front of you. So the economy may say, yeah, it's not a good time to do this. Well, if you have other data that shows that this person is doing it and that person is doing it and this organization is doing it and this business is still running, I think we're dealing with that now. Some people are like, there's no money. Nobody has a job. Everybody's been furloughed. Those are external things that are out there. But when we can find out internally, well, that's not the case. There are a lot of people who still have jobs. There are lots of opportunities out there. There are organizations of people moving forward. And I think that data can sometimes help us get over some of those external obstacles.
I think that's well said. I see a comment up there as I posted this morning. We need to think about what we can do instead of focusing on what we can't do.
Yeah, that's from Neil.
Okay. Thank you, Neil. Always good to hear from you. Tom, so there are two groups of external pressures or external obstacles, as I heard you talking through this. The one is those that we can control, And the other is that ones that we can't easily control it, because it sounds like what you're working with people on is ways to strategize to take more control of them. And so maybe we have 3 buckets of challenges: internal, external within our control, and external that we need to work on controlling.
Yeah, and maybe we can't even control them. We just need to try to prepare for them if we can. Because some of them are things we're going to know, right? If you're, depending on what your role is, if you have a board of directors you report to, if you have a supervisor you report to, if you have your business, if you're a business owner and you do report to your business might say, yeah, you don't have the money for this.
Or your spouse in some cases.
Or your
small businesses, they have to run something by a significant other.
Your accountant might be like, yeah, that's not a really good move. So I think that the more we know about those people, individuals, situations, the more we can prepare, so that when those messages come to us that say, yeah, you probably shouldn't do this, or this is why you shouldn't, you are able to then say, well, here's the information that I have gathered to help me and why I feel like this is the right decision to move forward. And I think that's part of it. It's like, how do we have enough information without feeling like we have to have all the information? We need to just have some good data sets that say, yeah, this makes sense. So that when others come at us and say, yeah, I don't think that's the right idea. Like, I think yesterday you were telling me about somebody who has a really big idea, and we probably shouldn't share his idea.
Correct. We should not.
But a lot of people would be like, that's absolutely crazy. And you're like, yeah, all right, you can say that, but here's all the information that I have that says this is why this makes sense. Mm-hmm. And this is why, for me, I appreciate your feedback. And it's helpful. Sometimes those external obstacles allow us to think of, oh, I hadn't thought about that. I have all this other information, but this was new information that said, maybe I need to pause and think, or like, no, you know what? I got that covered, and keep moving forward.
Which sets us up for tomorrow and Friday, where we're going to talk about how we can use these external and internal obstacles as a source of improvement for our ideas and for our moving forward. Because if we are paralyzed by any of these, we're doing ourselves a huge disservice. Because I'm sure when the Wright brothers were considering flight and going through all the iterations of their airplane, there were plenty of people looking at them at Kitty Hawk and going, guys, really?
Yeah, like,
no one wants this. That's stupid.
Why is it important?
Yeah, come on, go back to your bicycle shop in Ohio. Give it up. And I think we all have been through that. I mean, there are things that I've accomplished that I never imagined I would accomplish. And I look back at some of the obstacles I've been able to overcome that, as I look back now, they were pretty daunting. And I look at other situations where there are ideas that I had that they looked very daunting at the front end, but when you got through them, it was like, that wasn't so bad.
Right. You just had to move through them. I think that's those things that come at us, the more we're able to either be prepared, and prepared might be from past experiences. Say like, oh yeah, this is coming. But you know what? I've been through that before, and I know what to expect, and I have a better idea of how I can handle and manage it, and how I can continue to move forward, even though I know there will be challenges along the way. This is how I can avoid it, because I have done it in the past in a similar situation.
Or working with others.
Or working with others.
One of the things I think you and I do in our coaching business is help people confront the obstacles that they see from a proactive perspective, not, oh, what do I do? But hey, what's in the way? Okay, what are the strategies that you can use to overcome it? Have you considered doing this? Is this really that big an obstacle? If it is, okay, how do we attack it? Often when we talk through it, the obstacle goes from up here to here, and before you know it, it's gone. And you've helped me with things like that, and I've helped you with things like that. That's fairly common. I think what's uncommon for a lot of people is to consider obstacles in that way, and to approach an obstacle and say, oh, this is going to be a roadblock. I can't get funding. How do I pay for this thing that I need to do? Or how do I get people interested in something I'm interested in? Which one person would go, that's an obstacle. Another person would say, wow, that's a fun challenge. Let's go.
Right.
Finding those people that like the challenge are the ones you want to have around you.
Yeah. And I think that, you sometimes you want those people to challenge you because it makes you think, the chances are that we and our thought process are going to be able to cover all of the possible scenarios that might arise. Probably not likely because we might not have all of the experience. But as someone else approaches us and says, yeah, I've tried that. It didn't really work for me. You can say, okay, that could either stop you or it can challenge you to be like, okay, I'm going to figure out how to work around it. And also you have people who, once you get that information, you're like, oh, I don't know. Now you go talk to other people who have other information and say, sure, that person, I can appreciate they had that experience, but I've had that experience and here was how I maneuvered around it or through it or over it to make sure that it wasn't as much of an impact. And I think is what you were talking about. A little bit more people we talk to, the more information we gather, the more experiences we hear about from others, the more it seems like that's more of a possibility, that there are other ways to get through whatever this challenge is that might be in front of us to help us move forward.
Well said. And if you have two challenges in your life, if one of your challenges is you can't find the right people to surround yourself, you want to join our Ring of Renegades. It's a Facebook group, no cost Facebook group. You can join a growing number of people who are focused on solutions, focused on finding new ways to do things, celebrating their successes. We had a great success celebrated yesterday that we actually had a little involvement in with our Ring of Renegades and with our post with our today's antidote. We said something yesterday that caused some. We also, so you can join that group, go to Facebook, Ring of Renegades, or you can contact Tom or me and join through us. The second thing is if you're thinking, oh boy, it's been 8, 10, 12 weeks of being captive and I haven't had enough networking opportunities and I really miss handing out my business card and giving my elevator pitch. Well, we have an opportunity for you to not do those two things, but to still network. We're having our unnetworking network event tomorrow. That's Thursday, May 21st at 4 p.m. Eastern time. We're gathering people together and we're going to do the unnetworking network event where you will actually share information with people and gather information from people, the kind of information that you probably can't imagine getting from an event like this, but it's actually going to make you want to spend time Friday following up with people. And so I've already blocked out on my calendar 2 hours to do follow-ups because I think it's going to be so effective. And usually, Tom, as we talked about yesterday, I showed in something else we did, my little box of all the business cards that I have that I've not touched. We're going to overcome that challenge. You won't need a box for business cards. You will genuinely be interested in talking to people because you're going to get to know them in a special way. So if you want to join that event, you can join the Ring of Renegades, and that'll be an event tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Tom, last thing we need to do, my favorite part of the day, of course, is what's that one thing that people can do today to hopefully overcome some of those external obstacles, those trap doors?
Yeah, I think that what I'm going to offer is come to our event tomorrow.
Shameless plug. I love it.
Shameless plug, but here's why. Is there are people in there who have different experiences. And because we're not just asking what do they do, we're asking about them, we're learning about them, they are going to be able to provide experiences, information that may be the piece we need to get over whatever the challenge is that is in front of us, the external obstacle that we can't figure out. You might find somebody in there who says, I've been through that. Do you want to get together and we can talk about what that is? And that's something you would never find if you were at another networking event and all people were doing was talking about, here are all my businesses, here's my business, and here are all the services and goods that I provide. You would never find those helpful solutions to something you're overcoming because all you're talking about is their business. You're not talking about what themselves and each other. So I would say the more we can do that, the more you reach out and talk to others, not just about their business, but what are the things that they've experienced? What's their information that they have? The more information you'll have to hopefully, and contacts to hopefully overcome whatever external obstacles you might be facing.
That sounds great, Tom. I'm going to challenge people even one beyond what you suggest, which is not just come to the event Thursday as you suggest, but bring someone to the event Thursday who needs this kind of opportunity. Someone in business, we all know that person in business who's trying to build their network, and this is an opportunity to build their network in a really powerful way. And I think if everyone who was going to attend brought someone new to that group to attend that event, you will be doing someone a huge service, which will come back to you. And often the way we overcome obstacles is to help other people overcome their obstacles. And then the karma comes back around and swings in our favor, and some incredible insight comes about. So with that, Tom, let's close the book on today's episode of today's Antidote. We will be back tomorrow morning, bright and early, 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. Until then, have a great day, everyone. Be healthy.
Everybody go out and make it a great day.